This episode of Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. To get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Luca Parrish, and you are listening to Capes and the Lunatics Sidekicks Podcast.
In brightest day,
in blackest night,
No evil shall escape my sight.
but those who worship evil's might.
beware my power.
Green Lantern's light.
That turned out really well, I think.
I know. We're a core or something.
Yeah.
That's great. So, hey everyone, welcome back to another week of Sector 2814, the Green Lantern Podcast. I am Phil. Joining me as always, Master of the Core. It is
Matt.
Me? I'm the master of the core. I'm Matt. Hey.
I meant Will, but okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
I know.
Hi, I'm Will.
I know. It's like massive thing, it's South. I know. No, remember Kona's the rookie. Remember?
That's right.
I'm the master of just making it up as I go along.
That's a good skill to have.
Yeah.
Oh, and for those of you who maybe didn't listen, as of this recording, yes, our February episode of Scarlet Spider went up today. Very good episode.
Yes, that was a good fun time.
You guys will learn a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, it didn't even feel like 7 a.m. when we were recording it.
Well,
That's saying something.
Yeah.
it didn't seem early on a Sunday morning until you said Gwen Stefani pushed
Oh
up.
yeah, I did. Yeah. I was trying to.
Osborne pushed Gwen Stefani off the bridge.
Yeah, that was a bit of a blooper.
Oh, that was awesome.
Hey, we don't have our banner running that tells us.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? I was actually editing it when you.
When I came on and interrupted you.
Forgot to charge your lantern. That's why.
Been over 24 hours. That's right. So yeah, I don't think we have any new Green Lantern news yet. Again, we're recording on a Tuesday, but I don't think there's any Green Lantern books this week. And because Future State's Green Lantern wise, Future State's over. So I think I don't know, it's either next month or I don't know if they're even skipping a month. It's just starting in April with new Green Lantern #1.
Oh yeah.
Although we still got 1 or 2 issues of
Morrison and Sharp, yeah.
So maybe that'll be it. All right. So anything else on your mind, guys? I mean, it's gonna sound like we're backtracking, but hey, did you see Marvel Legends announced that I guess through Walgreens they're gonna be putting out a Quasar?
That's right. I will be ordering. I mean, and it looks awesome. I mean, they posted in the Grunwald Groupies group?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks completely awesome. I'm gonna have to get one for me, and then I'll have to make sure the boys each get one because we love our Quasar.
Well, that's what I was saying on Sunday. I was like, we're probably gonna have to do like just like a special episode of the Quantum Zone and a few ones just to cover those Guardians of the Galaxy issues and talk about the figure. Although, I mean, you can't even pre-order it yet. I guess they just announced it on Friday. So
yeah, so we're ahead of the curve here.
Because I made sure I even jumped on Walgreens website. I'm like, nope, find it, can't find it.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go down to Walgreens and ask the elderly woman that works there if I can pre-order my Quasar figure through her, and if not, can I get the coronavirus vaccine?
I actually got the first shot today.
Did you?
Yeah. Arm's a little sore, but
Yeah.
I'm halfway there.
Yeah. That's good. I got one too because I deliver food for Meals on Wheels during the week, and so because I'm working with elderly people, so they hooked me up. Yeah.
Which one did you get?
The one that starts with an M.
The Moderna?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's the one I got too. Awesome.
Yeah. It's twinsies. Yeah.
And 28 days later, which is a horrible thing to say, talking about vaccines, I will be getting the second one.
Yeah.
I hope they get one day soon.
Yeah.
You work in the medical field. Come on, they'll hook you up.
I have medical equipment. It's all like I'm a doctor.
I know, but still.
I know.
I just work at a university. So we're educational 1B people. So
There you go.
He works at a university. He's one of those people.
one of those people. That's right.
One of those learned people.
Bazinga.
So, should we jump into these 8 issues?
Yeah.
I think so.
Get back to the 90s.
1990, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, the first 8 issues of the 1990s Green Lantern series. Yeah, I guess we can do these synopses. Yeah, written by
Well,
what?
Before we get started, this was the first time you've read these, right, Matt?
Oh yeah.
So yes and no, because I definitely owned at least issue 8 before in the past, and I had some real vivid recollections of certain panels and pages in this when I was going back reading it, and I don't want to bury the lead, but something pretty big happens, and but I hadn't read the lead up to that, the sort of on the road traveling man Hal Jordan stuff. So it was cool to fill in some gaps and take a visit to an old familiar place for sure.
Well, Phil, how did it, because you'd read it before, how did it hold up for you?
It held up about the same. I've read this a few times. I think I get a little bit of more enjoyment out of it each time. And again, I've never owned the first 8 issues. I have the trade.
Ah.
I think
That's a Brian Stelfreeze cover, isn't it?
I think, yeah, I was just looking on the inside. I think it came out it came out at 92. So yeah, it's the first 8
Nice.
issues. So yes, kids, Green Lantern, the road back.
I don't know. For me, I don't think I'd probably read it since back then, not too long after it came out. So it did quite hold up to my memory. I mean, it's good, but it wasn't as good as I remember it being. And
yeah, there's definitely a place and time sort of, and I noticed that reading like some old Spider-Man, Phil and I, I jump in on Phil's Ultimate Spider Cast occasionally to talk about Ben Reilly issues, and there's definitely some stuff that I seemed better at the time than it did now. Some stuff holds up all right, but yeah, that'll happen. It'll get you that way.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
So I guess
that's not great. I still got to cut up the audio from Sunday of Racing. He loves sausage.
He does. That sounds about right. So, yeah, I mean, I was a little bit. We can, if you guys want to jump in now, we can, or we can do the synopsis first and then talk about it. It's completely hell.
Yeah, I was going to do one by one, so like we could do like each issue. Yeah, because because these are written by Gerard Jones, pencils Pat Broderick. I like the art on these. Inker Nelson DeCastro, colorist Anthony Tollin, letterer Albert Guzman, editors Kevin Dooley, Andrew Helfer. So did they say this in the issue? It says here in the notes, like it's been 15 years since Hal Jordan first got the ring. Oh, boy.
I didn't think the DC universe. I thought the DC universe was about 10 years old, just like the Marvel universe.
What did you see that? I guess they're saying today, because I don't know if what came out today. Generation. I think again, I'll get it tomorrow. But Generations Forged or whatever. I guess they're gonna play with it. Now everything counts. They're gonna be like, oh yeah, everything since like Action Comics 1 up till now all counts. I guess it's just they age very slowly or whatever.
Okay.
Universe. It's all one big one big universe.
It's an infinite universe.
So Lex Luthor was stealing those pies back in the day. All right.
That's right. Thanos in a Thanos copter. Sorry.
Should have had that. But yeah, Green Lantern #1 from cover date June 1990, Down to Earth. But yeah, it's been 15 years since Hal Jordan first got the ring. Doesn't even say it here, but that opening sequence where he like jumps off that cliff, I find that kind of weird. I get it, he's a fearless test pilot and stuff, but it's like, every other day there's like some alien like trying to knock out that central power battery or something.
I know. Is the ring still good?
Even if the battery gets like shut off for a split second, it's crap. What if someone else has the idea to enter the central power battery first and destroy it?
Again, yeah.
I know.
Spoilers.
I know. But after that, Hal visits the headquarters of the Justice League of America to see if there's anything there that might inspire him to rejoin the team. When he arrives, it becomes clear that many of the League members would like him to replace their current Green Lantern.
I don't think "like" is strong enough word.
Yes. The playful antics of the League members, and more specifically, Guy Gardner's bad attitude, convince him that the League simply isn't the place for him. Truthfully, Hal feels that too much time spent around superpowered people has been wearing on him. So Hal embarks upon a journey to reconnect with himself as a non-powered human. He recalls earlier years in his life, like his cross-country trip with his friend Green Arrow, fondly. Meanwhile, John Stewart is suffering from a nervous breakdown due to his actions, which led to the destruction of the planet Xanshi, which we talked about last time in
Cosmic Odyssey. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Unable to deal with his guilt any longer, he flies to the ruins of the planet Oa. Hal travels take him to the town of Hope Springs, West Virginia, which had been called Desolation when last he had been there. He tracks down a woman he had met there named Rose Lewis Hardin. Rose had only met him as the Green Lantern and therefore has no idea who Hal is. Even so, he offers to help her with the farm work for some room and board. In the meantime, he befriends Rose's young son, Toby. Hal senses a romantic tension between himself and Rose, but he is content to let nothing come of it. Eventually, Guy Gardner shows up and bullies Hal into competing with him once again, and the two engage in a ring-powered arm wrestling match. Unfortunately, Rose witnesses their argument, and despite Hal's assurances that he is just a man, she believes that he can never be anything but a superhero. As such, she asks him to leave. Goes. All right, I'm curious, Will, what did you think of like Hal's like little journey in this? It's like, oh, superpowers.
Yeah, I mean,
since you love Hal Jordan so much, what?
I do, and he had a host of bad stories before before getting to this point. I guess I felt like the writing in this was like extra melodramatic at times. It just seemed a little much. But I guess they wanted to take the Hal that had been left after Green Lantern Corps finished, and then all the Action Comics stuff, which kind of saw.
Hey! Stop! Mercy!
Kind of soft reset. And I guess I got a little bit. His whole, I'm going to walk the earth for 4 issues, or was it 5? I don't remember. We get it, but then I don't know. It just seemed to drag on a little bit for me.
I was going to say, I think they wanted him to like rediscover,
yeah,
meaning of being Green Lantern, but yeah, it did drag on way too long. What about you, Conan? What did you think?
For issue #1?
Yeah, and like even just like his journey. It's like dragging it out like, oh, woe is me.
Well, I'm glad that it didn't take place in like every issue was like a little vignette as it sort of started like, but yeah, maybe could have hit the cutting room floor. You know, I mean, I know some of it comes back. He makes relationships. There's a little bit of sexual tension, and you know, he acts as sort of a father figure to the kid, trying to teach values, and when he becomes a fisherman, there's a little hint when they sort of give him a honor rule background check, and he's like, are you wanted by the cops, or you anything like that, or if you have any personal problems? And he says, nothing I haven't dealt with before. Okay, all right, bit of a nod to the past. It's there is a strange relationship with his deadhead friend, who instantly recognizes him as Green Lantern, despite the little tiny mask that he's relied on for some time to shield his identity. And then he seems like a friend to Hal, but he's a bit of a gossip. Just tells everybody about it. The guy loses his job, and then Hal he gives Hal a heads up where else he could get a job, and then goes there and starts blabbing his mouth again. And you know, so there's that was a little strange, but
And I don't think we see him again after that, do we?
no, it doesn't connect like the female relationship that he has at the beginning. Yeah, it's just very odd.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think Rose and John Stewart strike up a relationship in Mosaic, don't they?
Mosaic series, yeah. All right, well, let's get to the second issue, because we're talking about that guy. Yeah, because issue 2, July 1990, Pursuit of Happiness. Hal Jordan finds work aboard a fishing vessel catching crab. I bet he does. He befriends an aging hippie named Clay, yes, and enjoys the work he has found, yes. He hopes to avoid being unmasked again, and has programmed his ring to alert him if Guy Gardner should come within 10 miles. It says 10 miles here, but wasn't it like 100 or something?
It was 100 in the comic, yeah.
Yeah, it says 10 here, but yeah, it was like 100. Guy, meanwhile, is restless with his boredom and decides to explore the debauchery on 8th Street in Manhattan. He wanders into a tattoo parlor and comes across the Tattooed Man, who claims that he is no longer interested in crime and only wants to make an honest living with his business. Guy is disinterested and picks a fight with the Tattooed Man, forcing him to use his magical tattoos to create living constructs and protect himself. By no coincidence, their fight eventually carries over to where Hal Jordan has been working, as Guy leads him there. And Hal is forced once again to abandon his new life in order to take care of Guy. The two argue briefly, and Hal leaves him to finish off the Tattooed Man. But when he returns to work, he discovers with disappointment that his new co-workers have learned that he is Green Lantern. They have no interest in having a superhero in their lives, and Hal is fired. As luck would have it, however, the Tattooed Man is available to take Jordan's place working on the fishing boats. Meanwhile, John Stewart scours the remains of Oa until he finds the corpse of Priest, an alien he had once known. He also happens to discover the sole remaining Guardian who stayed behind after the other Guardians of the Universe left. Appa, whom Hal and his friend Oliver had named Old Timer, tells Stewart that the loneliness and desolation of Oa had taken its toll on him, and he tried to force a mind union with Priest. Stewart is horrified to learn that the Owen killed Priest because he refused that mind union. Seeing that the Guardian has gone insane, John flees for his life. Yeah, it's saying here, the Tattooed Man's last appearance was Green Lantern 144, so it'd been a lot. And I'm trying to think, this might have been like this Tattooed Man's last appearance, because I think, what is it, like after Rebirth, when Hal's back, do we get like a new Tattooed Man or something?
I think we do, because we get a new
because it wasn't like the hit when Hal and Batman first come back together after Rebirth.
I think wow, we'll have to.
I think it's a different guy, so this might be this Tattooed Man might have actually gotten a happy ending.
Because he got his house, that was his tattoo,
and his mall.
And I that cover of Uncanny X-Men where Kitty Pryde is saying, Professor. No, it's the first page. Or the cover of first page. Professor X is a jerk.
That's like the first page. Yeah.
Guy Gardner is a jerk.
That's what I was going to ask. You were to this, Coda. What do you think about Guy Gardner so far?
Well, you know what? I definitely didn't like him when I read this back then. I'm like, this guy he's a bully, and I didn't realize how much of a horn dog he was, especially in issue 2. He's in the porn store. He's looking at what is it? New Age Floozies 9. And I think it might have been in the first. Yeah.
He's really concerned that the quality stays at the same level as the first 8. So he's a connoisseur.
Yeah, big longtime fan. And in the first issue, he played an X-rated movie for a female member of the Justice League or something that gets referenced, and he's what he calls all the women dames. Is that it? I don't know.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, in issue 1, when they're saying, he's like, what's Hal Jordan got that I don't? And Batman's like, maturity for one thing. You won't see how you can ring to level half the buildings on 8th Avenue because they look like vice dens to him.
Yeah, right. And I clearly remember his. I didn't know the present day reference I'm going to make now, but flying around with those green Uggs on,
And that's, I guess, this kind of. I don't remember reading this anywhere because I never read, older Justice Leagues. But something that Jeff Johns did as writer was, start to develop that relationship between Hal and Batman, because they're both kind of cops, right? Which I thought was pretty cool. He also did the same thing for the Flash, because he's a forensic scientist. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, isn't Batman a detective? No.
He's the detective.
Still a cop. Yeah. And
all right, you want to get to issue 3? This is one of my favorites. It's just so.
Oh yeah, Slugfest, great cover.
Issue 3. I know. Look at, isn't that Parallax Face right there?
Yeah, that looks pretty Parallax Face. Yeah.
I think that influence is already starting to take effect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, issue 3, Sound and Fury.
Mm-hmm.
August 1990. While Hal Jordan is wandering on the outskirts of Cud City, Guy Gardner appears, taunting him. Hal is annoyed by Guy's reckless behavior, claiming that Guy can't handle the idea of someone trying to do things honestly without depending on a Green Lantern ring. At a diner in town, Guy is goaded by Hal's arguments into challenging him to a brawl without using their rings. Hal agrees, leaving the rings in the care of the waitress. Really?
Yeah.
The two fight outdoors, and the townspeople gather around until the local sheriff appears. He arrests them and throws them in jail. Being confined together gives them the opportunity to argue more. Guy explains that all of his power and popularity derive directly from his ring. When Hal tries to explain to the guy that the ring isn't everything, he suddenly realizes that neither of them has their rings on it.
Oopsie.
Because they were left at the diner. When they convince the sheriff to find them, they discover that the rings are missing.
Yeah, for a couple things. It doesn't mention that in the beginning, when it just kind of glosses over Guy Gardner's taunting him, he stops and demolishes an entire fruit truck by just to stand there, and it plows into him and it explodes basically. Yeah, and that the fact that the cop was so on board with just making a phone call to the diner on their behalf for mysterious reasons, like he doesn't know that they're superheroes, right?
I mean, Guy Gardner's kind of obvious, right? I mean,
well, yeah, that's true. There's no disguise, but I don't know if they know about those big city New York superheroes in the rolling hills of West Virginia or wherever he is now. Is he in West Virginia now? Yeah, but
But it's just like, I mean, you just leave your rings in the care of a stranger. I mean, the waitress. I mean,
You could have stashed them somewhere, put them under a gumball machine, you know.
because it's like, I think it's Kyle Rayner says in one of his issues. Well, it's like he was telling the Justice League, he's like, I can split atoms with this thing, right?
Yeah.
Sure, who knows who? Yeah.
Yeah. Now, do they have to be, being the rookie and all, the master of rookies, do they need to be on the finger to have the power? If it was in, say, like the fifth pocket of his jeans, would it work? Could he get something out of it? Or
I think it depends on willpower, right?
I was gonna say, I think they can control from a distance, which later on in this issue, I kind of a question,
Right.
but it's a lot harder. So it's not like it's
Gotcha.
when it's. But yeah, I mean, again, put it down on the sidewalk next to you guys or something,
Yeah.
where you can see them.
Mhm.
Or some guys are going to get it and start making giant chainsaws. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna get there. Meanwhile, on Oa, Jon Stewart finds himself trapped by the last Guardian remaining on the planet. The insane Guardian forces him into a mind union, the result of which causes Jon to have visions of Maltus when the Guardians of the Universe were still there. The Guardian claims that he can bring all of these memories into reality. Okay, here's the good part. Back on Earth, two locals are using the stolen rings to cause havoc, looting shops and harassing citizens. When the sheriff comes in contact with them, Hal convinces him that if he and Guy are let go, they can get the rings back and stop the chaos. Soon, Hal and Guy face the criminals, easily dodging their energy constructs. Hal counters by punching one in the face, grabbing his ring, and becoming Green Lantern. The sight prompts the other criminal to return Guy's ring without a struggle. Later on the road again, Guy admits that Hal is the best Green Lantern he's ever seen. Hal still chooses to walk his path without using the ring, and Guy concedes that he will stop interfering from now on. That was my question. Over the years, I've gone back and forth on this. When they're like standing there, and the guys are like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna," they're gonna like chainsaw him or whatever, and like you see just like Hal just standing there, like almost like sweating. I was like, is he just standing there, like knowing they're gonna miss him, or is he basically like Conan was asking, is he subtly using his willpower to make like one guy miss with anything or something?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think he's
pouring all concentration into it because not only is the ring not on his finger, but he has to override that other guy's control.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's what I took it to be happening.
Yeah. And also, in addition to making chainsaws, they make a green version of a local girl that they have been rejected by in the past, which I'm pretty sure is also a Black Mirror episode. But
we're not going to go there.
No, and it's just, I mean, I'm not gonna poke holes into that's realistic or this isn't. We're talking about the space comics, but in a way, but the two rings happen to fall into the hands of these already bad guys, the local hoodlums, and they can, I don't know. I guess they're aware of Green Lantern's existence, But
He's in the rings now.
Uncle Beavis and Butthead. Yeah. But they're dispatched in short order, and it bonds Guy Gardner and Hal, so it gets us where we need to go.
I love that panel when Hal decks him, and then he grabs his ring and suits back up. You see Guy behind him being like, "Hey, you got ring back."
Yeah.
Well, and talking about the art, it veered into cartoony at times a little bit for me. Not all the time. I mean, it's good art, but sometimes the faces were, when we would do some extreme close-ups, they looked really cartoony, and I guess that was Broderick's style, but it was kind of jarring sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because again, seriously, I mean, don't some of these panels, don't those guys look like Beavis and Butthead almost?
Yeah, almost.
Okay, so should we get to issue 4?
Mm-hmm.
Bet.
That big hole on the cover.
Oh yeah. Evergreen City doesn't look so green anymore.
Twin Pines is now Lone Pines.
Yeah.
If you look at the back of the comic, you could fill it in with Cocoa Puffs.
Oh,
Need be.
But you might go cuckoo.
That's true. With loneliness. No.
And Cocoa Puffs.
Yes, true. A lot of sugar in there. Ah, man, I love some Cocoa Puffs.
Issue 4, Among My Souvenirs. Cover date September 1990. Hal Jordan charges his Green Lantern ring before heading to a peach orchard in California looking for work. He happens to read a newspaper, but fails to notice a headline stating that an entire city has vanished from the face of the earth. Oops.
He was never a close reader of things, you know.
Wow. Check the sports scores.
Yeah.
Elsewhere, rogue guardian of the universe, Appa Ali Apsa, creates a mind union with Green Lantern John Stewart, who has been trapped against his will. Through this mind union, the Guardian, who has gone insane, begins ripping cities across the universe from the very ground and transplanting them onto the barren ruins of the planet Oa. With John's help, he retraces his steps when he traveled alongside Hal Jordan and Oliver Queen while they were hard-traveling heroes. He collects every city that they visited together, one by one. Meanwhile, Hal has become used to his life as a peach picker in the orchard, soon joined by the man who recommended him for the job, Clay.
He's back.
When they overhear a radio broadcast stating that Evergreen City has vanished, Clay wonders if Hal will investigate. Hal refuses, claiming that the world is full of heroes, but there aren't enough pickers for the orchard. At the city limits of Evergreen, the JLA investigates the crater where the city once stood. Martian Manhunter notes that even Superman was unable to follow the city to its final destination. As they stand there, Guy Gardner gets a message on his ring from John Stewart, who hopes to contact the other Lanterns to help him. Unfortunately, Guy dismisses the message as a hallucination. Just as this occurs, the Rogue Guardian rips yet another city that he and his friends had visited from the planet's surface. Back at the orchard, Clay continues to question Hal about why he gave up being a Green Lantern and encourages him to take up the mantle again. Hal claims that since the Guardians abandoned the Corps, he hasn't had a good reason to return. Oh, passing the buck. However, he keeps his ring just in case someone can give him one. On Oa, the Guardian sets his sights on the last town that he had visited, Hope Springs. Hal had developed a brief romantic relationship with a woman named Rose Hardin in that same town just weeks earlier, issue 1. John Stewart does his best to resist the mind union with the Guardian. That night, Hal hopes to start a new routine in which he no longer charges his ring in the mornings and does away with his Green Lantern power battery. He falls asleep beneath a tree under the crescent moon. In a dream, Hal receives a message from John Stewart asking for help. Unfortunately, Hal's subconscious persists in interfering with John's message. Finally, Appa Ali Apsa realizes John's actions and puts a stop to them, simultaneously alerting Hal to the danger. When Hal awakens, he realizes that he has a reason to take up the Green Lantern mantle again and heads to Hope Springs, hoping he is not too late. Unfortunately, he arrives after the vanishing, but a nearby spectator points him in the direction of Oa. So, I like that last. Well, I like the last two. I like when he was charging that ring, but that splash page at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, because he had been charging it just by counting to 10.
Yeah, he was
earlier.
The oaths. Yeah, yeah, but like next to the last page, yeah, he calls up the battery and that finally does the oath.
And then this is where it really picks up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I mean, he'd just been basically wandering around these first 4 issues. Now he's actually has somewhat of a mission.
Yeah.
Oh, look, he even shaves between issues.
Yeah. Gotta be professional, you know. He definitely just makes a razor with his ring, right? Even if he's not.
I think it shows him doing that in one panel, doesn't it? Shaving.
Yeah.
I think it does.
Oh, it does it.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if it was either this issue
Why
or issue
buy
before.
razors? Yeah.
probably just like I don't know, burn it off or something. pull a Superman, just burn it up. So yeah, any thoughts on issue 4? But
I like the old timer Wizard of Oz reference and coming out of the tree and all that.
I'll give you Jon Stewart, my pretty.
Yeah. Oh, and the beginning, the song that he's singing is the song "King of the Road," which is it's a good one. It's kind of like a country song, but I remember hearing that because it's on this soundtrack for a somewhat obscure movie called "Love in a 45" from the 90s. But anyway, I thought that was cool. So
Yeah, this was the issue that he shaved.
more nostalgia. Yeah.
Yes, he was actually shaving in the beginning, but he still has stubble at the end.
Yeah, it's a long day, man. It's a long day.
It's a working man.
I told you, literally, he was checking the scores. The Dodgers just stomped the Giants at Candlestick Park.
Yeah.
But yeah, just the Guardians bringing all those cities to Oa. You see all like humans, and their neighbors are those boiling sulfuric.
So something I've always wondered: Coast City is the analog of what, San Diego? Is that right?
Something on the West Coast, yeah, probably.
Okay. I'll have to look that up later because I thought it seems more San Diego-ish than LA or San Francisco or any of those.
It's something California.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't think it's the Northwest or anything. So any other thoughts on this before we get to 5?
No.
Not great. Last page, last panel, and we're kicking off into the good stuff.
Yeah. All right. Let's pull up issue 5, and yes, Green Lantern number 5 back again. Al Jordan back again.
Again and again.
October 1990. Hal Jordan heads to Oa in order to stop a rogue guardian of the universe known as the Old Timer, who is ripping towns and cities from the surfaces of the planets across the universe and implanting them on the ruins of Oa. I guess about that. Just outside of the planet's atmosphere, the guardian notices Hal and he bounces right off of it. Hal wakes from his sleep on the couch in the home of Rose Hardin, who used to live in the town of Hope Springs until it was taken to Oa. Rose blames Hal for their being taken there, but she gets a few words out before Hal notices a commotion outside. In the front yard, a man with a pitchfork threatens a small group of Zutarians, blaming them for the incident. Unfortunately, the aliens can't speak English, but Hal's ring allows him to introduce himself as a friend of the late Tomar Ray. Ask them how they got there. The Zutarians reveal that they walked straight from their home city, which had been transplanted nearby.
Right over there.
Right next to Arkansas. That's right.
Yeah, oops.
They explained that the Old Timer had wanted to keep all of his memories near him, including their city. Hal promises to return the humans and the Xandurians to their home planets, and they reconcile, attempting to work together. Hal makes contact with Green Lantern Jon Stewart, but Jon is losing his grip on sanity due to the mind union he's sharing with the Guardian, who is already insane. Hal attempts to communicate with some nearby life forms, but they are violent and unresponsive. He does his best to avoid them, but their attacks are yellow, and they penetrate his shielding. The Guardian reveals that the life forms are protecting him because they know their survival depends on the continued existence of the Guardian. He offers to make Hal happy by sending him back to Rose Hardin, where he can live out his fantasies. Hal wakes up in a similar state to before on the couch of Rose Hardin. However, this time all seems well. Despite the illusion, Rose's son Toby seems to be aware of it. That night, while looking at the stars with Rose, Hal's ring activates and he realizes that he's living a lie. He acts as though nothing is wrong, and as he lies in bed, he reluctantly resolves. Now, okay, how desperate is he? He resolves to call Green Lantern Guy Gardner for help. He contacts Guy, saying that he knows of a way to defeat the Guardian, despite Guy's worries that the Guardians are very powerful. Guy initially resists, but eventually decides that he'll help Hal, hoping to be owed a favor later. Meanwhile, Hal tries to remain aware of the illusion by actually coming up with a real way to defeat the Guardian. But yeah, that was
pretty cool.
That was one of the clever things. Yeah, like he programmed this ring that's like, yeah. As soon as the old timer's not watching, he programmed
Wake me up.
Yeah. Wake me up before you go.
Yeah, that's right. Because he's definitely not planning on going solo.
Oh no.
Sorry, that's pretty bad.
I liked it. I'm sorry.
But yeah, I mean, and that's interesting. I mean, you kind of know we're going to get a future Green Lantern here because it's was it a family member or a friend of Tomar Ray's?
Tomar Ray, yeah, I think so. Yeah,
it's like Tomar.
He was still around in the Green Lantern core book for quite a while. I don't know if he's still a Green Lantern or not. But after the rebirth, I think he became a Green Lantern again.
Oh, the new one.
Tomar 2?
Yeah, Tomar 2, yeah.
I think he even showed up in the Kyle Rayner run at some point.
I don't
know.
But yeah, eventually I think, once Hal came back, he became part of the core again, yeah. Guardian.
Oops.
Color, go ahead.
You're on the line. What do you think about Green Lantern number 5?
Hang on a sec.
It's an important Patreon call.
Okay, sorry.
With Mr. Kickstarter, he wants to talk to Will right away.
No, it's just my son.
But yeah, I mean, it's always interesting, but it's like you just kind of get a peek of like some of the alien life forms on this planet.
Mm-hmm.
Like these guys who can shoot fireballs out of their head.
Yeah, which are kind of cool. And they're, of course, yellow because... Wait a minute. How did they get there?
Well, the Guardian's insane, not stupid. Yeah, but he knows, hey, let's put some yellow guys into Hal's way.
But how could he use his green power to get them there because they're yellow?
Well, did he pick up their city?
Planet? Yeah, or something, yeah.
There's always a workaround.
Mm-hmm, that's right. I may not be able to affect you, but I can affect something that does affect you.
But yeah, all these guys are just, half these aliens are protecting the Guardian because he's like, I'm controlling all your gravity and your atmosphere.
Basically, I'm the only one keeping you alive, so, hey, do me a solid.
I mean, there have been enough of these incidents. Why does anyone trust the Guardians in the universe anymore?
Well, they had a good, 6 billion year run until, humans came into the picture.
True. Too many humans.
Too many people.
But I just love the end how Hal calls guy who's watching what is that, Wheel of Fortune? Yeah, Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune.
And I love how he's like, oh, they finally got it broad dumb enough that we're in a low cut top and they keep cutting away when she bends over.
Yeah. Guy Gardner is a creep.
It's extra creepy when you think he's writing it.
And a jerk, yeah.
I love, I'll go. There ain't nothing better to do. But again, if he can call Guy Gardner, why? I mean, again, it's the Green Lantern book, but why doesn't Hal be like, Guy, I need you to come to Oa, bring Superman, bring as many of the Justice League as you can, and get to Oa.
Yeah, please.
Yeah,
thank you.
Or not even you need the whole league. It's like, hey, bring Martian Manhunter. We got Captain Atom yet? Bring Captain Atom.
How about some of the new gods? Bring some of them. They're pretty powerful.
I'm thinking of whoever would be on Earth and readily available. It's just like, some heavy hitters: Superman, Captain Atom. But no,
I mean, maybe he's just in the doghouse for showing all those X-rated movies on a Friday night movie night.
Very possible.
Maybe it's the guy who cried wolf. Guy goes to somebody and say, "Oh, I need your help." Oh, it's another trick. You know what you're doing, partner.
Yeah.
So yeah, he takes off for Owen those Uggs. Those green. You're all right, Coda. Those Uggs.
Yeah.
Uggs, yeah.
They're atrocious. I mean, maybe they're just there to distract from his haircut. I don't know.
I guess. I don't think any other Green Lantern wear it. Even like Even like Kilowog, who's like so much bigger, he don't wear them buffs.
Yeah.
I will never unsee that. All right. Should we get to what is it? 6 already? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like that cover too. Captives of the Mad God.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah. Nothing worse than a mad god.
I am God.
Let's see, number 6, Green Lantern number 6, 2 Against the World. From November 1990. Green Lantern Guy Gardner reaches the outskirts of the planet Oa. Hey, isn't that where we picked up on last issue? Called by Hal Jordan to help save the planet and those on it from a rogue guardian of the universe known as the Old Timer. Hal sends Guy a message with a mental map of the planet, telling him to hitch a ride into Oa's atmosphere before the Guardian finds him. As the Guardian rips yet another city from its home planet and brings it to Oa, Guy manages to sneak through the pressure bubble surrounding it and enter its atmosphere. Unfortunately, once the city is transplanted onto Oa's surface, the inhabitants of the city begin attacking him because they have fallen under the Guardian's control. Meanwhile, near the ruins of the central power battery of Oa, the Guardian reveals to a captive John Stewart that he plans to drain the native planets of all the cities he's stolen in order to power the new planet. The plan will kill all of the remaining residents of Maltiz, Xandar, and Earth, among others. On the border between the transplanted town of Hope Springs and its Xandurian city, Hal makes contact with Tomar II, who remains loyal to the Green Lanterns and promises to help him track down both Guy Gardner and the Rogue Guardian. Hal's companion, Rose Hardin, realizes that she has been seeing an illusion, and Hal is forced to explain the nature of the Guardians, Oa, and the Green Lantern Corps. Elsewhere, every new species that Guy encounters soon turns on him as a result of the Guardian's mind control. Are we sure it's the mind control? Maybe it's just
I think it's just he's just a jerk.
Yeah.
doesn't take much. However, Hal manages to help him by projecting a vision of each species' messianic figure, which prompts them to stop attacking Guy. Hal uses the Guardian's distraction with Guy as an opportunity to communicate with John Stewart. He explains that John can use the mind union he is trapped in, can be turned against the Guardian when he is weakened. Hal reveals that he plans to enter the central power battery to absorb its energies, just as he had 15 years ago. And
Emerald Dawn.
I know. The last time I took a drink, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the battery's connection to Oa's core is tenuous since it's shattered, and soon Guy, Hal, and John are all trapped by the last remaining Guardian of the Universe, a man who is clearly insane. Isn't this the one? Yeah, isn't this the one where he flies in the battery and then we see a little blink?
Yeah.
So, all right. So, yeah, what do we think? Everyone hates Guy Gardner. That's obvious.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. You're right. That's just so weird. It's like, yeah, 15 years since he got that ring.
Mm-hmm.
Especially after Crisis. It's like, well, okay.
Yeah, and everything was sort of reset, but not really reset after Crisis. So it's kind of confusing.
Yeah, because I don't think. I mean, Superman really got reset after Crisis. So I'm like, I don't think Superman's been around 15 years.
Yeah, exactly.
In his timeline makes no sense to me. I think they did exit. They want to. I don't know the point of the gray hair, but at least Jeff Johns kind of retcons that later.
Yeah.
It gets somewhat influencing him.
Apparently, I have parallax, going on with me too. I should probably get that looked at.
Shouldn't Hal have been able to? Maybe not, but shouldn't Hal have been able to put up a bigger struggle with the Guardian if Parallax is somewhat in there?
Maybe, but
Unless he didn't want to tip his hand yet.
and yeah, Parallax may not have wanted to tip his hand. It may not have been powerful enough at that point.
Yeah, that battery's still kind of wonky. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Last time he was masquerading Sinestro.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like the Guardian captures Hal again. He's like, "What were you up to?" And he's like, "Wait, I probed your mind, and you've deleted it with your ring." So yeah, kids, Hal has a plan. But
Did he empty the trash can after he deleted it though? Because you could just go right to that recycle bin and
Right click with your ring.
And then if you look at the cover of 7, you it kind of spoils what Hal did.
Yeah. He didn't go in there to get power. He went in there to
Make a long distance call.
That's right.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on 6, Kona?
Now I like that little twist, the little stealthy way that he called for help. Plant a seed in advance. But things are moving. Pages are flipping. Like it's cracking into gear. We're wondering. All these storylines are beginning to converge. You had jerk Guy Gardner coming in unexpectedly to help. Throwback to Green Lantern lore of the past. And, poor Jon Stewart kind of relegated to victim here, but it's all coming together. So.
Well, and I think that you talk about Jon Stewart, that really gets made use of a lot in Mosaic because he's questioning his sanity, he's seeing things, he's so what he endures here is something that he deals with for that entire series, which is really kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they really here in the few years before this, they really put Jon Stewart through the ringer. I don't think he was really with it since he took over for Howard. Took over for Howard. Another time Hal Jordan played.
Yeah. Was that the 8th or the 13th? I don't remember.
I don't know. Carol says mirror the core, and he gave up his ring.
Yeah.
And Star Sapphire moves.
Yeah, and then kills Cava too.
You got it. All right, so issue 7, Homecoming. That's right, the Vulture swooping in. December 1990. With all 3 of them. Remember when there was only 3 Green Lanterns from Earth? Well, all 3 of Earth's Green Lanterns trapped. The Rogue Guardian Appa Ali Apsa bragged about his success to aggravate Hal Jordan. Still, Hal has hidden a piece of information in his mind away from the Mad Guardian's thoughts. Hoping to extract the information from Hal, the Guardian releases violent monsters into a peaceful Xandurian city that he had transported to Oa. He then turns his attention to the small nearby town of Hope Springs, where Hal's friend Rose Hardin is poorly equipped to deal with the attackers. However, just as the Guardian plans to eat Hal, the other 22 Guardians return to Oa and detain Appa Ali Apsa. The Guardians return, frees Hal, Jon Stewart, and Guy Gardner to save Rose and her son Toby from their attackers. The 3 work together to create giant energy constructs to deal with the violent creatures. Elsewhere, the Guardians take Appa Ali Apsa to the central power battery of Oa for judgment. Unfortunately, the Rogue Guardian still has a mind union with Jon Stewart, and Jon begins to attack the Guardians. They're easily defeated, having been away from Oa for so long. And Appa Ali Apsa believes that he is the one living power battery, the last true Guardian. Yeah, because he's mainlining that power, right?
That's right.
So,
yep.
So the Guardians take a break from their booty call, come back, and yeah. I think how it says they're just running on their power they have in them. They're not yet.
And the Zamorans don't really come back until Rebirth, when they are, the part was part of the Star Sapphires, right?
I think, yeah, because they don't show up at Millennium, do they?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I guess they're cosmic beings. Yeah, time's nothing to them. But yeah, still, yeah. Yeah, they don't show up till what, 2006, 2007.
Yeah. 16 years later.
Wow.
I just love when Hal and the others are cleaning up, and it's just guys so what? So what was that about me being a brain damaged thug? You are a brain damaged thug, Gardner, but by God, you're our brain damaged thug.
And that's enough for him. He loves that. So there you go.
And then their rings their rings cut out, and it's we bluff them. But yeah, then it starts raining Guardians.
That's a great way to put that too.
Bring the Guardian.
Hallelujah.
But yeah, it's that, the Green Lanterns taking out these alien creatures. Oh my lord, the seesaws.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that was a weird thing to see in the midst of battle.
then the giant tennis rackets. Like, John, tennis is your game. Show us how to.
Yeah. Involve him a little bit. That's nice.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
All right. So yeah. Anything else on this one? The penultimate. Take a drink, please.
Great cover. Love the Guardians and their little. Who's the Masters of the Universe character? Is it Snark? You know what I'm talking about?
Is it
The big hat.
Orko?
Ojo.
Orko.
Yeah. Orko. Snark. I think that's something different. That's but kind of an Orko uniform vibe for the Guardians.
Did the colors go weird in where they were red instead of green in some of these pages? Or was that the final issue?
Oh, I know the final issue. Some of my colors were wacky. That's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
Like in the original issues, those colors were weird.
No, they're definitely red. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because like in the last issue, we're going to get to like see like how Jordan's uniform like red,
and he's kind of green skin instead of normal. Yeah.
So that's like it was like that in the original issue. Okay. I didn't know if that was just my trade.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Trouble with the printers.
Yeah.
Too much red and green. All right, should we get to the last one?
Let's do it.
The last one, the first one, Matt Kona ever read.
Yeah.
It's a good place to start.
Again, work our way back. So yes, Green Lantern 8, bringing it together. January 1991. With no power left in their Green Lantern rings, Hal Jordan and Guy Gardner attempt to distract a group of charging aliens until help arrives in the form of the Xandorians, led by Hal's new friend Tomar 2. But when Tomar 2 finds himself cornered by one of the beasts, Hal runs to the escape. Wait, it says run to the escape. I'm assuming it's run to the rescue, hoping that bluffing about his ring's power will discourage the beasts from attacking. Suddenly, Rose Hardin and some other humans arrive, firing guns at the beast, which sends them running. Rose is visibly shaken that her house was destroyed. Still, Guy admires Hal's courage in making the bluff, and Tomar 2 is grateful. With the aliens taken care of, Hal turns his attention between the Guardians of the Universe and the insane Appa Ali Apsa. With the help of Pazu Pinder Pol, Hal realizes that the Guardians are sacrificing their fighting power in order to maintain Oa's gravity and protect the transplanted cities that have been put there. Hal convinces Pazu Pinder Pol to tell the other Guardians to give up on the gravitational field in order to conserve their power. Then Hal uses John Stewart's mind connection with Appa Ali Apsa to project feelings of loneliness into the Rogue Guardian's mind. The result of seeing the cities transplanted onto the planets being torn from its surface, combined with the feelings of loneliness, leads Appa Ali Apsa to release his control of Oa's power. The Guardians then blast him with their power, killing him. The Guardians decide to rebuild Oa's central power battery and restore the Green Lantern Corps. They decide that they will select one of each of the 3 remaining Green Lanterns to either recruit new corpsmen, rebuild Oa, or return to Earth as Green Lantern of Sector 2814. Guy and John discuss the future while Hal returns to help Rose and her son, Toby, rebuild their home. He promises to return to visit them, but that he is inexorably both Green Lantern and Hal Jordan, and never one or the other. With that in mind, Hal declares his midlife crisis over and reaffirms his status as a Green Lantern. Damn. So he's midlife?
Yeah.
I guess if he's been Green Lantern for 15 years.
Because what was he, like 25?
I was going to say he thought it
got
had been at least in his early 20s, if not mid, yeah.
So, he's 39, 40. 40.
Will's
Midlife.
like, I miss 40.
I miss 40. It's a ways back there.
Hell, I'm going to be 43 in April. I miss 40.
Yeah, I know.
But I love that. I like when the Guardians are like trying to keep the planet safe, and Hal's like he's like they're smart, but they've never been like in a street fight, you know. Like, they don't know how to fight because they're taking them on like one or two at a time, and it's
Two at a time. Yeah, while the others do the maintenance. Yeah, I thought it ended pretty well.
yeah, even with the wacky colors.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we get another Emerald Dawn mention.
Yeah.
You guys have to trust me.
Except now you can't because I've got parallax in me. But whatever.
Guess they don't know that.
You would think that they did, but whatever.
But again, I mean, it's like we're not even at Emerald Twilight yet, let alone John's having to reboot, have the retcon stuff.
Yeah. And did they ever address the Mosaic cities after Emerald Twilight?
I'm trying to remember. Weren't at the end of Mosaic? I mean, spoilers. Don't like Hound, like a bunch of heroes from Earth come and like, don't they at least take the people off the planet? Or
I don't remember. Doesn't John become a guardian at some point?
Yeah, I don't think anything ever came to that. But I mean, yeah. I mean, again, I've started reading through some Guy Gardners, and I've really never read the Dark Stars, which we'll get to those around that time. But yeah, I'm trying to. It's been a year since I've read Mosaic, but yeah, I thought like how a bunch of people came for the people at least.
Yeah.
Because even at this point, doesn't it seem weird where the Guardians are like, yeah, we're going to keep the cities here.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
until we get enough power regenerated or something. Yeah, it was kind of some hand waving, but I think it was also like, hey, let's make it an experiment and see if we can, get them to all live together,
And it's like, wouldn't you be like, well, why don't you ask if any of these people want to participate in this experiment?
Yeah. Well, it's very on brand for the Guardians to do something like that. Very on brand.
I guess the Green Lanterns are used to not questioning them, but I'm just like, yeah. We got 3 Green Lanterns, but can't we start burying people off this planet if you at least can't send those cities back?
Yeah, I mean, one Guardian did it. There's 22 of you, you could like take shifts and ship them back,
And that other thing, they're finally repairing the power battery. I'm like, remember what was that, like Green Lantern 200? Why wouldn't they repair the battery before they left?
Good call.
Silly me. They were just like, okay, guys, do it.
Oh wait, no, it was busted after they left, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
That's why. But then, do you think they would have known that and like, well, we should go back and help the people we left to, keep things safe?
Or even if it took a while, couldn't that one lone? Well, I guess he was insane by that point. But couldn't that one lone Guardian have started to rebuild that power battery?
He was lonely.
Well, yeah, he killed Priest.
Yeah.
We kill off like the last connection to Action Comics Weekly because they did not bring any of that back.
Not at all.
Again, the only thing that really stuck from that is Katma's killing. That was it.
Yeah. And I guess the ring that Hal has is not his original ring.
But
it's
bring that back up.
And nobody ever mentions that again. Yeah.
Alabolo or whatever. Yeah, we still haven't heard from him.
He's biding his time.
He's still shaking his fist. I'll get you, Hal Jordan.
And I'll kill you, Priest. Wait a minute.
You know what? That would have been an interesting deep dive when he became Parallax. If they just would have had some kind of scene where he went to see Malevolo and killed him or something.
Yeah, Story, plot.
Tie that up real quick.
Finished.
Tie that up real quick and be like, I felt you trying to take me over with that ring of yours. Guess what?
Yeah. Bye.
But yeah, no one wanted to go back to that Action Comics stuff.
Yeah, leave that alone.
So what did you think, Matt?
I thought it was fun. There was definitely some silliness that's easy to kind of joke about and gloss past. Mm-hmm. But overall, it it got my attention, and I read it really fast, all in one sitting. Unlike the Action Comic stuff, it appealed to me a little bit more, and I was excited because before you selected this, I knew that I had read a handful of Green Lantern in my youth. I mean, I was 8 when this came out, and it still stuck with me, particularly all the what looks like on the cover to be dead Guardians, but just really badly beaten Guardians, I guess. I don't know if it's as jarring as the Dead Watchers, even though that kind of got brought back from Marvel and Quasar to bring them back to that. But yeah, I give it a thumbs up. I liked it.
All right, here's a question: Did you get more out of this issue, like now that you've read the first 7 before you got? Yeah, it made more sense, maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
And we had another splash page.
Another splash. Yep, that's cool.
How got all the splash pages?
Yeah, well, guy's a jerk.
I was going to say, is it the end of this one, or is it the beginning of the next one we'll get to next week? Where they're like, yeah, one of you's going to be Green Lantern in Sector 2814, one's going to recruit Green Lantern, and one's going to stay here. Isn't it guys like, oh, I wonder who's going to get Sector?
Yeah, they have to, and they move him. He actually, in the Guy Gardner Reborn, is that the series? He gets Sinestro's ring.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, we're going to get that. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. We're going to have to come up with some kind of contest that maybe we can announce next week. The way this Guy Gardner issue, because next week is Green Lantern 9 through 12, a guy in Houston North. And we find out which Green Lantern gets which job.
And you'd never know that the Guardians had a sense of humor, right?
Next week, yeah. Is it just like, yeah, let's put Gardner on Earth, his Justice League can look after him or something.
Kilowog's around, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. Kilowog's basically just helping the basically like tech support almost. All right, so any final thoughts on these, gentlemen?
No.
Nope, I think we're good.
All right, so yeah, like I said, next week is Green Lantern 9 through 12, a guy in his convert. Oh, and then in 2 weeks, one issue, Green Lantern 13. So you know what that means? Return to the live reads.
Oh yes, looking forward to getting into some character. Who knows?
I was going to say, we got to give Will Hal Jordan. So yeah, okay. And I'll let you choose. I'll let you choose, Matt. Do you want to be Guy Gardner or John Stewart? It's up to you.
Oh, I gotta be Guy Gardner.
I do it.
Yeah.
All right.
He has the best lines. He may be a jerk, but he has the best lines, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you frauds. Yeah, and then Green Lantern 14 through 17, which is that arc's called Mosaic, but it's not the actual Mosaic yet.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, focusing on John Stewart, and then Green Lantern 18 and 19, 20 and 21, 22 through 24. Green Lantern Corps Quarterly, then you get the Green Lantern, the Mosaic 1 through 4, and then Green Lantern 25. So yeah, basically going in order.
Cool.
We'll get there, yeah. And we even got, after 25, we'll get that Ganthet scale.
Very cool. That's a good one. John Byrne.
Oh yeah, right around. Oh yeah, get the Guy Gardner stuff. Eventually, Dark Stars. The crossover with Green Lantern and Flash coming up around issue 30. All right, so send your thoughts for all of those kids. Email us capesandlunatics@gmail.com or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. Yeah, Ray, you said once the issue count goes down, you might be sending in feedback, Ray. So send us some feedback. And you could find Sector 2814 on Facebook, Twitter. Join the Book of Oa, our Facebook group. Lots of fun stuff happening there. Links to all the various social medias of the Capes and Lunatics. Links to this YouTube channel. Links to merch. Links to Patreon. If either of you want to join us, especially Will, I think next month in March sometime, Lilith and I are going to do our first episode on Patreon, Booth Windows and Long Boxes. We're going to talk about some of how Jordan's not so great moments, like the Aritzia thing, Will.
Yeah, that's
odd. If you want us to defend your boy, I'll let you know. So find links to all of that all in one place. That's Linktree, linktr.ee/capesandlunatics. And remember to support our sponsors, Tweaked Audio and Hunt a Killer. Use the code Southgate for both of those for discounts. And then go pick up Pod Life, the book, now in digital and paperback. Learn the ins and outs of podcasting from the experts. And go get that on Amazon. And when you get that, and Green Lantern Comics or whatever else, use the link for Southgate Media Group right down there in the show notes. Help us support this show, the network, and that Mad Guardian, Rob Master Doom Southgate.
Make it rain.
Make it rain, Guardian.
Make it rain. So says Master Doom. Please kick me in the pants. Why did your eye drift over to my box?
All right, rookie Matt Kona. Where can we find you?
You can find me at Matt Kona and send me any Uggs that you may have spray painted green or any pictures of bull haircuts that you like, so I can try to do my best to get in character for Guy Gardner Green Lantern in a couple weeks.
I could sprinkle some pimp particles on it to make it
Suck it, Lilith.
All right, Will Allred, Master of the Core. Where can people find you?
You can find me at Wallred. That's at WALLRED. Gmail and Twitter and Facebook and probably Instagram and all those places. You can find my self-published work, Diary of Night, at diaryofnight.com. And find Crossover Division, which is getting ready to start fulfillment of #1, crossoverdivision.com. And you can find all kinds of really cool stuff about Quasar, who is an awesome hero, at quantumzone.org.
Hey, boys, you look at the party? I love the party.
They aren't even attempting to enter our orifices.
Star Blast, the gift that keeps on giving.
Wait for another live read. You know we're going to have something. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Again, 1 week, Guy and Mr. North. And yes, 2 weeks, return to the live read. I think it's that big. It's a little larger than normal issue, so have some fun. Oh, I can't wait to see what's going to be about next week. Get bored. All right, everyone. Come back next time. And remember, keep it green.